Hi, Anna from Flow and Purpose, and today I want to consider the emotions and our emotional world, actually the emotional body that we inhabit. And very often the distraction that we face in everyday life is because we're trying to avoid feeling our emotions. So if you have listened to the first two videos in the series, you would have considered how you can reclaim more of your attention from where we normally disperse it, freely give it away, usually by being completely glued to our devices and scrolling and just in general not being mindful of where we spend our attention. And the first step is to reconnect to our embodied sense of self, so our physical body. Today, we are taking a dip into the emotional body. So as I'm talking, take the attention inside of you and just feel. Is there a certain mood? Maybe you're just feeling down and drained. Or maybe there's a sense of elation, there's something exciting happening in your life and you can't wait. Or there's a sense of neutrality. Maybe you're triggered, maybe you're a bit angry about something that has happened. Just notice. It could be very noticeably on the foreground, or it could be a very subtle background sort of feeling. And are there certain moods that you very often struggle with? Feeling down, feeling sad. And very often the physical sensations in the body will give us a clue about the emotions if they're very subtle. And I want you to consider whether what you find, whether you can be present with it. Sometimes it's very challenging with the more difficult emotions. It's more challenging to do that. But it pays off to be there for a second with that feeling of unease or the feeling of being down. And consider if there's something that this emotion is trying to tell you. Just pose this as a question inside without forcing an answer, without thinking of an answer with your head. Just allow the question to be there. Are you, for example, trying to make someone happy? And you're not succeeding? These are very often patterns that develop in childhood, and we hold them on in our adult lives without realizing that that's what we're doing. But a lot of these patterns that we develop as very functional patterns in our childhood no longer serve us. So see where this emotion is coming from. Is this emotion, if it's a long-term emotion, like that you feel sad long-term or unfulfilled or struggling with feelings of depression, is that a pattern you recognize from your family history? And I will consider inherited emotions further on, but this is just a taste and to make you aware that it is possible to carry emotions that have not been processed by previous generations. And as you hear these words, and perhaps this is the first time you come in contact with this concept, just consider, is that possible in your life? And if someone comes to mind, that very first insight. That's your true answer. So the mind would then come on top and start questioning it or doubting it or having a whole story about it. Disregard that. Just learn to trust your own intuition. And I invite you, as you sit with whatever emotion it is that is now present in you, to see how it is to just welcome it without needing it to go away. And if you have struggled with your emotions, this may be very challenging. It's maybe that you're not used to that, because the thing that you would like the most is to run away from them or get rid of them. But the invitation for today is to just sit for maybe half a minute to a minute with that emotion without needing it to go away. And I'll be here with you. We'll just do that for a few moments here together. And as you do that, notice the physical sensations that accompany the emotion, where they're felt in the body, and whether they change. So, speaking about myself, there's a slight nervousness. Is my message that I'm bringing forward going to be accessible to you watching it? And the nervousness has moved a little bit from the stomach area to more the chest area. And what I notice is that the quietness that's here in the present moment is greater than this emotion. So in a way, I can see the emotion from a little bit of distance. And I would invite you to experiment with that. If in welcoming the emotion, or at least holding it, not needing it to be any different and not wanting it to go away and disappear, in that act, whether you see that you and the emotion are not the same thing. So please let me know if this exercise has been useful, and please try it a few more times and see how that develops. You can just take a minute or two during different parts of the day just to check in into your emotional body and see that there's nothing to run away from, and see that what is there can change and dissipate, and that you are able to hold it, and that you are not it. Thank you for watching, and I will get another bowl for the tree because today is our second day of Christmas together. Thank you for watching, and I will see you tomorrow.